Now, students, we continue with the lecture number 3. Now, this is lecture 4, India and the world. Now, whatever you see on the board, please write it down in your copies. That will make you comfortable and you will be able to understand more. Now, India and the world. Point number 1. Indian landmass has a central location between East and West Asia. If you see the world map, you will see India's location taking consideration of the Asian continent. Then you will see India's location is central. That is the Arabian world and the eastern part of the world. If you take it, then you will find that India is centrally located. Number 2, India is southward extension of Asian continent. You will see India's location is towards the south of the Asian continent. Number 3, Trans-Indian Ocean routes which connects the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of the East Asia provide a strategic location to India. So if anybody wants to travel by sea from Europe to eastern part of the world, that is Japan and China and all those countries, by sea route, then you have to pass through India, or India is the central position. Without touching India, you cannot go to the east of the world, eastern part of the world. Number 4, the Deccan Peninsula protrudes into Indian Ocean, thus helping India to establish close contact with West Asia, Africa, Europe from the western coast, and southeast with Southeast and East Asia from east and east coast. So India has two coastal side, one Bombay side which is your western side, and Visakhapatnam and Calcutta side and Chennai side which is the eastern side. So if you see the western side, it is connected to the Europe and Africa by crossing Arabian Sea. You can get into Africa, and if we travel through the Suez Canal, we can easily go to Europe, and this can be done from the western side of the country. And from eastern side, you can easily go to east through the Strait of Malacca and go to South China Sea, and you can go to Japan and Korea and all those countries. Now, point number 5. No other country has a long coastline on Indian Ocean as India has, and indeed, it is India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean which justifies the naming of it after India. If you see all the countries on Indian Ocean, you will see India is the only country which has the maximum your coastline, and that's why the ocean, the only ocean in the world which is named after India, because India is the only country in the world which has the longest coastline in this ocean, and that's why the name Indian Ocean is justified. Number 6, India's contact with the world have continued through the ages, but her relationship through the land routes are much older than the maritime contacts. So India's contact with the world has been for ages. We had trade relations with the Roman Empire. We had the relation with Greek Empire, with the Europeans, with the Arabian countries. So, but all these was through land route. You have heard about the Silk Route and all. Silk Route, which passes which starts from China, travels through Kashmir, and then it goes through Afghanistan, and then it reaches to through Afghanistan to Iran, Iraq, and then to Turkey and to the Mediterranean coast and the city called Constantinople. So we had a long history and of trading with the rest of the world. and this was done through land route, but now we also have it through the sea route, and this sea route has been developed much later than what we had in the land routes. The various passes across the mountains of north have provided passage to ancient travelers, while the oceans restricted the interaction for a long time. Now we have a lot of passes. Passes are roadways between mountains. You have Nathula Pass, Shipkila Pass, Bomdila Pass, Karakoram Pass. These are roads. These are routes through which you can cross the Himalayas. And these roads have given us a chance to contact with the rest of the world towards the north. Like in history, you have read about Huan Shang. Huan Shang reached India. He was a Chinese traveler, and he reached Nalanda University where he studied Buddhism and all those things. He came through this route, through the Himalayan passes, and these type of passes in the Himalayan region have helped us a lot. But this type of travel to India was restricted somewhat by the oceans, because the oceans, it was not easy to cross the oceans as such. Number 7, these routes have contributed to the exchange of ideas and commodities since ancient time. Now, these passes, these routes have helped us to spread our ideas to rest of the world, and the rest of the world also. We also received ideas from the rest of the world which came through these passes, through these routes. Number 8, the ideas of Upanishad, Ramayana, and the stories of Panchatantra, Indian numerical systems, and decimal system, thus could reach many parts of the world. So, Indian system of counting, Indo-Arabic system, then you have the English system of numerical systems. These systems, Indian system, reached to the Arabian world through these trade routes. The spices, muslin, and other merchandise were taken from India to different parts of the countries. India is a country of spices. Muslin is a special quality of silk, and these were traded from India to different countries. On the other hand, influence of Greek sculpture, architectural styles of domes and minarets from west can be seen in different parts of our country. So we see art struck ancient monuments and minarets, and all these are made with the ideas taken from the other parts of the world, the Arabian world, the Chinese part of Chinese civilization. Now all these styles of architecture and sculpture, they came